evening, afternoon, evening, whatever time of day it is, people. Welcome to a Stormspace Does. Now, today it's a slightly different sort of Stormspace Does. Well, in fact, we've got the swanky new shirt. It's a back-to-back. Now, I've recently invested in the PS3. I've always liked the console. I have mostly been a PlayStation gamer, although, to be honest, that's because we had a PS1 and PS2. I guess if we had Nintendo, it'd be a Nintendo gamer, etc. But what we're going to go back-to-back on? Gran Tourismo 5. For the whole, it's a game that's not too bad. Gran Turismo series is quite entertaining. Played a lot of Gran Turismo 3 on the PS2, not so much Gran Turismo 4. A lot of Gran Turismo 3, and I've played a little bit of Gran Turismo 5, and it's hit and miss. It's not too bad. Like I said, it's a little hit and miss for me. My main bugbear is that with Gran Turismo 5, it took so long to come out, and it was a bit. So. It's not a bad game, but maybe a little too straight-laced. Versus Forza Motorsport 4. Now, I've played and completed Forza Motorsport 2 and Forza Motorsport 3. Yes, I have been that bored and completed them both. Obviously a while ago when I had essays to do. Instead of doing them, I played the Xbox. Anyway, but Forza Motorsport 4. Now, good game. I've always liked the Forza series. I like the greater level customization you can go into on the cars. In many ways it feels a little more realistic than the Gran Turismo. In some ways it feels a little more realistic than the Gran Turismo. The thing that I found with Forza 4, for the most part, there are elements that were obviously better than Forza 3, but on the whole, I can't see what's massively different between Forza 4 and Forza 3. The cover car they've chosen, the Ferrari 458 Italia, is a much better cover car than the Audi R8 V10. God's sake, better car than the stupid Sonic Audi. Why not Koenigsegg, McLaren, Aston Martin, a V12 engine Ferrari, the Ferrari 330 P4. But nonetheless, it's interesting. I mean, I like the drift function on it. I like the drift function, like the infinite tuning you can almost have on it. I know there's a great level of tuning on there Gran Turismo 5, but I've not really been able to explore it properly. It doesn't feel. Forza feels like it gives me greater ability to exploit it, rather than Gran Turismo 5. But anyway, enough of the differences between the two games. The actual what we're doing is we're calling it a back-to-back. What I've done, I've got a TVR Tuscan on Forza. I've got a Tuscan on Forza 4. I've also got a Tuscan on Gran Turismo 5 that I've modified to its maximum ability. I've also got a Tuscan on Forza that I've completely modified. What we're going to do, we're going to run a Nürburgring on Gran Turismo 5 in the TVR. Then we're going to switch over to Forza and run the Nürburgring, see what the differences are in the driving characteristics, etc. Now, I will say there is one immediate thing that is obvious to me from the get-go. Well, not obvious to me, that is going to be an immediate problem. Is that my PlayStation controller, it's not an official PlayStation controller, so it is sometimes a bit laggy, sometimes it will cause the tail slide a little easier. Likewise, I don't know what settings I've got the driving ability set to on that. I don't know whether I've got traction control on, path off. Whereas on Forza, I know I drive with stability off, traction on, because I'm okay, but I only turn them off for drifting. I can't race normally unless it's a low performing car. I can't race with them turned off. So away we go, shall we? Alright, so here we go. Let's get the game loaded up. Now, Gran Turismo, for me, as I mentioned, it's not a bad game, it's more of a realistic driving game. But what I found from playing Gran Turismo 5 is it's a bit too straight. Sometimes, let's say, it's a bit too straight-laced at times. And I think they've tried to put too much into the game, if that makes sense. There are hordes of cars available. I don't know why PlayStation didn't, or Gran Turismo didn't think to follow the Xbox method of doing things, as in downloadable content for it all.
So that would have made a whole heap more sense. And I just realised I think my sodding internet has gone off. Fan-bloody-tastic. Again. Fan-frickin-tastic. Frickin' frock. There we go. Right. Fan-frickin' frick. Now, stupid headphones and things coming off over the controller. Ugh. Oh, for God's sake. Right. Skip that. Right. Jazzy music. Sign in again. Come on. Yes, you are seeing that correct. I have got a little Peugeot 106. For some reason my controller is running a slight bit laggy at the moment, which is not a good sign. It's not an official branded one, which is a bit annoying. Now let me see if I can set up a private... I should have freaking checked this beforehand, shouldn't I? Yay. Right, Right, it's not going to let me do it that way. Okay, I thought I could come in... I'm thinking Forza, aren't I? I think I can come in that way and set up my own session. Just try arcade mode for this then. If it'll let me do it. This is going to be bloody annoying if it won't let me do it. Let me see how it's going to let me do it. No, it's not going to let me do it that way. Right, we're going to have to drop into a practice session on GT mode. Immediately, not as overly friendly as... what do you call it? As Forza, which is a tiny bit annoying, but we'll see how we go. Now I just need to get the thing to drop into the thing, to do the other thing, and then the thing on the thing, and the thing. Right, we're just going to go into a practice. I need to change my car. That's the one we want the Tuscan. Which has been fully race prepped. Oh, we'll change the car number. What shall we... Wow. Go for 15. Bananas, really. Right, well, let's see. Right, okay, back out. Close, in the TVR. Right, it's over to the practice. Now, should be okay, because I was driving the car earlier and it was nice and planted. Want Super Speedway, not Daytona, not Monza, not Scuba, Laguna Seca, not Le Mans. Not Le Mans. There we go. Nürburgring. I'm going to go for the free run now. This is automatically going to give me a rolling start. That's something I've always found hard to get used to in some of the Gran Turismo games, is it gives you the rolling start. Like, well, where's the skill in getting it off the line? You know, it's very much a game where you can just... For the impatient person, it's good. Bury your foot, gone. And I don't know why it hangs here, because I've installed the sodding game to the bloody hard drive. Oh, I remember. God, it's indicating how long ago since I've properly played Gran Turismo, because I remember on Gran Turismo 3, Gran Turismo 3, there was a function where you could not only change where you start rolling or fixed start, but you could change the distance of how far back the other people started. Right, let's see. Round we go. I set my PlayStation controller up to be a bit like the Xbox in the sense I've got the rear triggers doing braking and accelerating. I've got the line on because I forget where to brake, but I know immediately it's not as nice for me. I prefer Forza's more active line and the ability just for it to have a braking line. I don't like how this is sort of from the settings I've tweaked. Now again, I could be wrong. From the settings I've tweaked, From the settings I've tweaked, it's basically sort of this or nothing. It's sort of, you know, you have a racing line or no racing line, which is a tiny bit annoying. Like I say, in that respect, Forza is a bit more settled. Ooh, back it off, floor it down. Right. Now this my TVR, it's one of the older it's an older Tuscan. I might have a slightly different Tuscan on Forza. We'll just lift off over the hill, drop it down to 4th. Oh, shit. Now you see, if that was Forza, it wouldn't have just sort of done a cubic bang off the wall. It would have sort of actually had more of a crashing sound. Granted, I don't really like crashing noises because everyone gets all, oh, crashes are amazing, etc. I only watch Formula 1 for crashes, etc. Like, oh, you div, you watch Formula 1 for the crashes, I will fucking kill you. But it's just, it spent all this extra time in development. I remember Mikey, you know, he's in the one of the videos we done. If you watch the midget sketch, he's in that. He's the colonel, commander, call it whatever you want. The recruiter. Ooh, cool. He was a bit cross at how long it took for this to be for this to come out, so it kept getting delayed. And I know my time's not being counted because I've gone off quite a lot. So some of this is obviously my not very good driving on the PlayStation, because I'm still getting used to it. My controller's having to still be plugged in. It's a wireless one, wireless Bluetooth, dual shock. But it's some reason on Gran Tourismo, it lags. It's really it hangs a lot. So like I can turn in, and then I can turn in. Well, I can turn the control. Move the joystick to turn in, and it will be a few seconds before anything happens, so I have to run it through the wire. Right, now here we go around. Oh, tricky section. Ooh, whoa. Now, that's a bit unusual. Well, not unusual. It's sort of one of the immediate differences between this and Forza, although, like I said, I don't know what driving difficulties I've got on, so that's probably more my, again, not very good driving. I know I've posted on Forza, so I've posted some relatively quick times. They're quick in the sense that, I don't mean to brag, but they're in the top 1%, some of them. Although that top 1, or most of them are within top 1 to 10%. Although that is sort of within the top sort of, say, 100,000, which really is not that impressive. So I'll keep my foot planted around here, just sort of temporarily lift off the throttle. They meant to spend ages on this. Now maybe this works better with a G25, G27 steering wheel setup. Maybe it feels a bit better. I know it did feel a little more immersive because I played this with Mikey. He did have certainly a steering wheel for PC and PS3. It wasn't G25 or something G25. It wasn't G25 or G27, but it was certainly something a little better. Better than the control, and it was quite good. But I say I am reserving a little bit on this because this controller is. I've got another controller. It was annoyingly on eBay. It was showing as a properly Microsoft branded Xbox controller. And when I went to go and complain, because I bought a wired one because I got fed up with going through batteries. It was a wired controller I bought. Showed all the Xbox official insignia. Went to go and log a complaint. The seller was no longer registered with eBay. Now the controller is okay, but the controller for the Xbox, my wired one, has a tendency to occasionally not turn left. You can be in the middle of turning left, on Forza for example, you could have to sort of put on some opposite lock and then have to go turn left again, and it won't turn. Which is tiny bit annoying. Right. Oh, I forgot about the horn. There are some functions on this that are on Gran Turismo that I think I don't understand why they've put them in. Now, the trade-off is I know why they. Maybe let me think of how to phrase it. I don't understand. I know why they're there because of the adaptable weather, so you can race in the dark, you can race in the wet and dark. But at the same time, do you really need to be able to toggle them? For instance, the horn does nothing. Obviously, it makes a beeping noise, and if you're easily amused, then you know it's something to amuse you with. Likewise, you can dip your headlights. I don't remember what button I've set to sort of dip and flash my headlights on here, but it's not one of their defaults. But I don't understand why. Surely it should be at night. At night, it's lights on, lights off. That should be it. Lights on, lights off. Now you learn Karate Kid. Oh, damn it! Oh, God, stupid controllers. Yeah, this is not a good lap. At all. Me trying to. This is. I was doing this earlier on, trying to find ways to carry more speed through. Didn't always work. It's not a very adaptable racing line. Let's see. There we go. Oh, on the brakes. Now I know one thing. PlayStation does certainly lend itself better for manual racing. Because I know on Gran Turismo 3, I did used to race with a manual gearbox a lot of the time. And on PS3, it lends itself slightly more. The buttons are slightly closer to sort of lend itself more naturally to wanting to race with the manual gearbox. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. There we go. Another lap's going to be discounted, but I'm counting it. There we go. Accelerate. Accelerate. 720 and 433. Not bad. Not bad at all. 720 and 720 and 0.4 seconds. That's okay going, I would say. The car's quite nice. It feels relatively nice and balanced, as balanced as it can be on a virtual game. Some elements of this I do prefer for modification. Things like the which we can turn these off whilst we swap over. Xbox sounds like it's going to take off. It's warm weather, not helping. As long as it's since I've played on the Xbox, its controller's got all dusty. Fire up the play game. Come on, everybody. Don't stop me now. Having such a good time. Having a ball. Now, I know some people say it's not it's not fair running GT5 versus Forza 4 because there's a couple of years between the two. But there is a little bit there's a little bit of method in the madness because of how far behind. Well, not how far behind, just how infrequent the GT games are versus. I think I'm saving the hard drive. Versus the Forza games. I was looking to invest in Forza Horizon, but someone's told me not to bother. Someone said it's not worthwhile. So we won't be investing in it for a while, or rather, I won't be investing in it for a little while. Now, let's have a look. Play the community. Let's go there. I just need to see if I've even got if the TVR's still in the garage, because I think I've got plenty of credits to buy one. Things like that. That is one of my favourite cars in the game. It might sound daft, but I love. It's so delightfully wrong seeing a fast Volvo for me. I mean, what I mean by delightfully wrong, you don't expect the Volvo to ever be quick. You know, they'll keep pace. They'll shift when you have to. but they're not. Excuse me. They're not racers. They're not stereotypical Volvo owners. Not one that's very quick and alert or on it. So you know. But a fast one always makes me laugh. Now let me just try and see where I've put the sodding TVR. I do have quite a few cars on Forza, because I've found on Forza you can probably just make out in the bottom corner I've got nearly 5 million credits. There comes a point in the game I found where it's just, oh, I've only got a Cigaris. Oh bother. Right, okay, right, we're going to have to quickly go and buy a TVR. But I found to a point in this game, there is almost a point where it is too easy to get cars. I think there's a tiny bit of difference between the Tuscans. Don't think I own one. Ka-ching! I could have sworn blind. I spent all that time getting a TVR up to desired standard. I do apologise if you can hear that in the background. That is the Xbox stand light. It's about to go haywire. Let me have a look at the upgrade shop. I prefer to put the upgrades on myself. Conversion, engine swap. Do you want to put the speed 12 in? Yeah, we'll put the speed 12 engine in. I mean, why not? I won't use Brown Man from Achievement Hunter's phrase, or one he certainly did used to use a hell of a lot. What's it? YOLO, right? Right. This is not going to be a straightforward drive. And let me put on the clutch. What gearbox do we want? On the gearbox. This is not going to be an entertaining drive at all. Well, it is going to be entertaining. Now, there is a function from the tyres that has gone that I used to think was a good setting. It was on Forza 2. You could purchase a brand. So you had to go through which brand of tyre you wanted. And if it was the wrong tyre, then, you know, well, not the wrong tyre. If it degraded too fast, you know, it was basically so you could actually decide how much you wanted the tyres to wear out in a race. Now, what I find on Forza, you can change obviously your wheels on Gran Tourismo, but there never seems to be a performance gain from it. Whereas on here, there is. Now we'll just put that on the front, put that on the rear. So that's basically, as far as I'm aware, that's both TVRs upgraded to their max. So putting the Speed 12 engine in the Tuscan body, cranking that out to 1,000 horsepower. Now, I think the time is going to be a lot faster on here, because I think the TVR on PS3 only puts out, in quotation marks, puts out a few hundred horsepower. It's about 500. It's in the hundreds of horsepower. Right. Just gonna quickly. TVR's got to be a loud colour. It's got to be in your face. Do we go for in your face orange? Go for an in your face orange. Ugh, no, we'll leave that as it is. Black out the wing mirrors. Wing can't be painted. Black out the rims. Just to, you know, make it nice and distinctive on the track. Now, let me see. We'll drop over into community. Race online. Create race. Game setup. This. For me, it's this. I prefer this way of setting it up because it just how do we put it? It just feels a lot more intuitive. Now, I know I probably have, obviously I've spent a lot more time on Forza than I have Gran Turismo, but and I spent since about 2008 being mostly an Xbox gamer. Some PC, some PS3, and I got Metal Gear Solid. I was gaming on that. It was a very good thing to play. Loved that game. Yeah. But have to restart it again because a certain Mikey. Here we go. Oh god. Right, we're gonna have to start that again because I think I was last drifting on here. So that is why that's not gonna go. That's not working as intended. We'll have to edit that out. Well, not edit it, just do something. That would explain a shite load. And because of all the power, actually no, we'll turn the stability off. That should sort of even it up between the two games. I wondered why it was spinning up so much. I thought, oh crap, I shouldn't have put the V12. I shouldn't put the Speed 12 V12 in there, but no, it's just being awkward. You could sum it up as being a dick. Come on. Right, let's see. It's interesting just to see the difference between the two games as well, just visually. Back it off, back it off, back it off. Oh god, there we go. Oh dear. I forgot one of these this controller has a tendency to pull. See, I prefer that much more subtle racing line. You know, telling you you can, well, gold, shite. Where you can brake, etc. Now I know they're going to be in two separate places. The games are using two separate start lines, which is annoying as hell. And I'm going to regret leaving stability off, I think. Oh, shite. There we go. Just trying to locate where everything was I was looking for. Keep the tyre thing on, see how much we overheat them. Oh, there we go. But I feel on Forza the car feels a lot more planted than like I say, part of it might have been the controller on the PlayStation, because it has not been the most friendliest of controllers to play with, even on things like Assassin's Creed. Well, I wasn't playing Assassin's Creed, the girlfriend was, but that's right, I do have a girlfriend who will game. That is quite amazing. But that's beside the point. The controller is a bit of a fighter. This one, the controller I'm using on the Xbox, it's got to be the one Mikey gave me with the console. Oh, go brake and change your pants. I probably should have put a fresh set with me when I fight before I got on the TVR. Of course, I know I'm not really driving a real TVR. It's just on a game, which some people seem to forget. I hate it when I'm racing online, people get really petty. It's like, oh, for God's sake! I appreciate if you're drifting. You know, everyone. It's sort of I've not experienced GT5 online, so I can't comment on there. But on the Xbox, doing some online drifting, everyone sort of knows to either put the hammer down and get ahead, and create some space, or to back off a bit and try and create some space. You know, and not to cross the finish line until everyone is at the finish line, sat there sort of doing burnouts for a little while. And of course, occasionally, because I've done it myself, you occasionally do overstep the finish line, trigger the countdown at the end of the game, which is, well, not a lot really you can do about it. But there we are. But people sometimes are so petty, like if you accidentally bash to the back of them, they're crashing and smashing into you. Racing on a track, Just straightforward racing, and people sort of trying to bash a car off the road and things like that. Not playing Destruction Derby, we're just sort of seeing what skills we have, or don't have, sometimes in my case. Go, damn it. Can I see, there, that, whilst that hit the barrier, that was not quite as sort of boxy as the PlayStation. It feels like the cars are still very, I'm guessing it's how they're sort of probably designed in the game. I really don't know how these games are built. It's like the car has this defined cube, oblong. And obviously if you hit something on the oblong, then obviously it's just going to make the oblong, it's just going to react badly to it. Good goal. Right, now we're on to sort of one of the faster sections. Time to sort of open up the taps and either pull out the lead over the PlayStation. Ooh, go. Whoa. We'll see how much faster 1,000 horsepower is over. No, I think it's about 600 or 700. The TVR, the PlayStation one. It's about 600 or 700 horsepower. Nonetheless, though, I've probably got a BMW 3 Series diesel difference, at least. I'm not quite got an M3, but I've got a high-end diesel. Probably got an M-powered diesel difference, and I'm aware I'm having to sort of put a lot of effort into fighting the car. There we go. Dab of brakes. I prefer the braking, this sort of racing line. I prefer just to tell me where to brake. Oh, bit of drifty, little drifty. But I prefer this type of braking line. So racing line tells me where to brake. I can choose where I want to go on the track. Makes things a bit easier. I wish I'd thought to put a couple of AI players on to sort of indicate something. But I think Gran Turismo AI drivers are a lot more thick than the Forza ones, because they spend the Forza ones. There is a chance they won't be where you're about to go. So I've found on Gran Turismo that nearly always on the braking zone when I need to be. When I've decided I'm going to go for a really late break, like Lewis Hamilton in today's Grand Prix, or anyone in the Grand Prix today, I think. Grosjean and Raikkonen from the Grand Prix today, doing a couple of nice late braking moves, trying to take chunks out of Vettel. As in his lead, not chunks out the guy. I don't like him very much, but I wouldn't wish that on him. But on Gran Turismo, I'm trying to go for late braking moves. Now they're on the braking line. I've already committed to a very inside, a very outside line, and and in both scenarios, I end up hitting them. Now we're coming up to a section shortly. I think it's around this corner. I'm looking at the track map correctly. Just taking a quick glance at it. I think, is it around this corner, isn't it? Not around this corner, no. After this U-turn, the next sort of straightish little bit, there is something. There is a massive difference between the two. I feel there's a massive difference between the two games here. Now coming up here, obviously I'm flooring it. Well, not flooring it, but I'm trying to carry as much speed as I can. Doesn't feel the same in Gran Turismo. I can get away with not braking there, get away with not braking there, which I can do in Gran Turismo as well. But here I can get away with jumping. Now they don't, unless I've not been going fast enough. Well, actually, I think I was hitting the brakes at the time on that. But every time I've sort of taken it for a cruise around the Nordschleife, just to. You see, I'm already behind on my Gran Turismo time. Gran Turismo was 7 minutes 20 something. 7 minutes 20 seconds and 0.44. I think it was 4.333.334. This is insane, because I would have bet a lot of money that the Forza one, because I prefer the game. This is insane. I would have bet a shitload of money that it was that it was going to be Forza that was going to. There was either going to be a couple of seconds in it. Although that said, I have had a few spinny moments, drifty moments, so it probably cost me a few seconds. It's not cost me that the huge amount of time it looks like it may have. Oh, cool. Shit. Yeah, that's not gone according to plan at all. Not gone very much according to plan at all, but that's a shock. 8:45 after penalties, 8:41 with that was 8. So that was nearly a minute behind. What the hell is the difference between the two? For God's sake! For God's sake! I've earned more money than I spent on the sodding car. Forza just throws money at you, which is amazing, really. But I would say, for the most part, despite those two being fairly close together, I would say I prefer Forza for the driving experience at the moment. Now, I have been putting in a bit of time on Gran Tourismo, and in places it is sort of making more sense than the other game, but it doesn't make as much sense or feel as fluid as Forza does. So at the moment, I still prefer Forza, but it's not bad. Neither game's bad, not very bad at all. I mean, well, they're two very big franchises, so. Yeah, but I think for the most part, for a race, Forza is what I prefer to play on at the moment. Greater customization of cars. I mean, for God's sake, let me have a look at let's have a look at some of my cars in my garage. I mean, for instance, that you can't do that on Gran Turismo, or that. Heck, even that's just a number on the side of that goddamn car. Can't do that. Can't do that. Or 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 that. You just can't do some of the things you can do on Forza with the customization. You just can't do on Gran Turismo, and I think that is missing from the game. Obviously, it's like, you know, your cars and things, yeah, but I wish I could make him a little more mine. I know a lot. At one of my designs, police design, fairly basic, but things like the Group B race car designs, or that the 18. I made that one myself. The 18 van, or the Lancia Stratos Group B, and the Group B, not Group B. There's the Lancia Stratos. Do it on Gran Turismo, and it needs that. But anyway, well, we'll end it there. I hope you all have a good week. Stay safe, stay drunk or sober, whichever works for yourself. And for the love of God, do not annoy me at work. Just, you know, I'll Gibbs slap you. That NCIS vehicle, you will be Gibbs slapped. So have a good evening, afternoon, whatever you're doing, and we'll see you on the next Stormspace does. If you want to help with Where's My Liberty at some point, just holler up and we'll see what we can do. Anyway, peace out.